Just as I press the play button, the record button, the screen goes into sleep. Now, I'm actually being shut. Oh Jesus! I'm actually being shut out of Google, YouTube. Apologies. Now, I've been using this old phone for months now. There's been a few issues, and it's a Windows phone, but it's still supported. And one day, oh, here we go. About 10 days ago, I got this, and it doesn't matter what I do. Oh Jesus! It doesn't matter what I do. I cannot view videos anymore using Microsoft Explorer. Now, what I did was I then installed other browsers, and one of them is this one, Surfy browser. Everything was fine for 3 or 4 days, and then, oh God, if I can remember how to do it. That did it. I mean, there was 3 or 4 days where it was working, and then boom, the same thing. Now, okay, they don't make Windows phones anymore, but the support for this ends on the 31st of December 2019. Now, I wouldn't think that that means that things will just automatically stop. Oh, why won't this thing focus? Won't automatically stop at that date, but you know, may fail at some point after, because that's when the support ends. So, when that happened, I then installed that one. Now the weird thing is, this is where it's very, very weird. If it was a problem with the phone, none of them would work. How is it that first Explorer fails, I install something else that works fine for several days, then that fails, I install something else that works for several days, and then that fails? How can that be? Now here's where it gets confusing. See that there? This has been on there a while. Now I don't use it, although I downloaded it, because it just doesn't show me my prescriptions. I mean, it's rubbish. It is absolutely awful. Right? However, so I mean, using this, I'm missing so many videos that I would otherwise post with my remarks on social media. And recently I've been attacking the actual social media giants. Within a week of attacking them, suddenly I'm getting shut out of YouTube, and every time I download a browser, 2, 3, 4 days later it's shutting me out. Now here's the weird thing. Oh, hang on, I shouldn't really click that one. Let me go back. I need to go to my subscriptions. Right, so this, say for instance, is David Devine of Adapt 2030, who we have spoken. He follows me now. I ripped up some of his trolls. Now sometimes in this app, for some reason unknown to me, it will.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And there's David Devine.
4,000-year-old cave art found in
So
Indonesia,
how is this working?
doubling what was thought was the oldest cave art
This
on our planet.
app has not been blocked.
Nor'easter up through the
Let me just stop that. This app has not been blocked, but the browsers have been blocked. The only trouble with this app is, I just, if I go to my, sorry. I mean, it probably ain't going to work for much longer anyway, but that's not the point. I mean, if I go to my subscriptions, all it says is, right, and, I might want to watch something that I'm not subscribed to, and I've got no recommendations, and all I get is, oh, well, this person's got a new video. Quite often you go in there and it's actually more than one. Never mind. This is the, as based Amy, bearing, this is the only way I can watch YouTube videos on mobile, and I kind of wondering whether they're just going to block me out on desktop as well, because I mean this is just mad. Alright, this thing isn't I mean, at first I thought it was some freak. I thought maybe I had a virus, so who would be writing viruses for these phones? I'll never know. But I tried to get around it, and it's just YouTube, and why would it just suddenly out the blue stop working in a browser, and then work in another browser for 2, 3, 4 days, whatever it was, then stop working? It's roughly the exact same amount of time. It's very, very weird. It's very weird. I mean, in 20 years of doing this, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, it's like an algorithm at some point kicks in and goes, oh, he's using that operating system, or that old browser, and we're not allowing that. This isn't the browser failing. This is something to do with Google and YouTube. Alright? For whatever reason, they're detecting, they've got an algorithm to look for something and then shut it out. Why would you suddenly shut out old Windows phones? I mean, it's Windows, it's Microsoft. You'd just leave it, and if the phones didn't work anymore after the end of the terms, after the service support ends, that's that. I knew that would come. Trouble is, one thing I find is you get lots of offers of help, and people say they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do the other, and I'm not one for asking. And then they don't do it. I mean, I have a friend called Mario that calls me, and he says, because of my disabilities, my situation, my daughter's situation, where I am, what I've lost, and trust me, it's a lot. And he just says, Martin, why do you've had years of people saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and then nothing happens. So I don't know. I mean, I find it ludicrous that they'd have an algorithm to detect browsers on Windows phones and just switch them off. I mean, what would be the point? Honestly, what would be the point, in paying somebody to code algorithms to do that? What would be the point? It would just be a waste of money and resources, time, unless there's a reason behind it. So I don't know. I'll run through it again just so you see. So Explorer, boop, 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 boop. Knowing. Just trying to think. Come on. Let's see. It says m.youtube.